So I said, no, you can't cure this. And she said, well, let me just check you. She said, listen, just keep going. You know, we can turn around if we have to, but just keep going and let me see if I can find what it is. So she started reading my gravitational and spiral body and my etheric body. And she goes, oh, she said, it's a virus. And I was saying, no, 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 it's not a virus. It's an, I mean, I was so sure, you know. No, it's not a virus. It's an allergy. So she says, just leave it to me. And she said, I'm killing the virus.
I don't know, it just clicked, I guess. It was the right time.
Yep. Does your husband know that he has to get involved with you in doing this?
Oh, no.
Well, I think maybe it's time you tell him.
All right.
You're in a serious mess.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you. So, I'm going to tell you a story, I think, in a minute. You know, this is kind of a night to be laid back, but I have a few more questions. But when I tell you the story, you will know that he has to get involved. Then you'll know when you hear the story.
Okay.
And also, now what I want to do is just tell you a story. Do you have some time? You want to hear a story?
Yeah. Yeah.
This story is very relevant to you because it has the same symptom. It has your symptom in it. And it's my story, something that happened to me. So I was in Maui with my girlfriend of the time, Chrissy. This was 1990. And we're at a Thai restaurant, and I started feeling like what you were sort of talking about. It was like a kind of a burning on the back of my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, then it started to itch after a while, and I said, oh, well, I don't, my bug must have bit me or something, but it started to spread. And it spread and spread, and this all happened within like 15 minutes. We're sitting there eating. I decided at some point that it had been the toasted sesame oil, the hot sesame oil that I had put on my food.
Right.
But what happened was it started to spread over my whole entire body. And there was a point where I said, I can't stay here anymore. I leaped up. I didn't have any appetite. I leaped up and I ran out of the restaurant. And she came out. She was kind of mad. And at that point, I was laying in the back seat of the Jeep. And, you know, I was like, we were visiting Maui, you know. So we rented a Jeep, and I had started just like I was in agony. And what happened was it went into my mouth and also into my rectum, and it went all inside my body. So the entire surface of my body was having this reaction. And what it looked like physically was just a redness. And so we went back to the condo we'd rented, and I had my Kalima board there. I didn't know what else to do. I did a Kalima. That didn't do anything either. I didn't know what to do, what to take for it, nothing. And so I was writhing in agony. And the Kalima, you know, might have helped a little, but basically I was up all night, and I was out running at dawn. I just figured I better go running something, anything. You know, I don't want to lay here anymore. And at some point it just started to dissipate. And I said, okay, I'm not going to eat any more toasted sesame oil. See, this is what doctors do. They always decide, well, what caused it? What did you take? What did you eat? You know, that's how they think. That's how I thought. And, of course, that had, you know, limited applications in this case. So what I started to find was that especially if I ate toasted sesame oil, I got these attacks. You know, if there was something, you know, sometimes I didn't know why they came on. But anyway, sometimes I knew I'd had sesame oil, and I just stopped having it, but then I'd have a little, just try it. You know, and this went on, and now we go up to 1993. And I was in New York. And a friend of mine took me down to HSF for dinner. I don't know if you ever went to HSF or if it's even still there, but it was a buffet, and I decided, okay, I haven't had those attacks for a while. I'm going to try some toasted sesame oil in my soup. It was a soup buffet. So I I got the attack, and I ran out on my friend who was treating me to dinner, and I jumped in a cab and went back up to the loft, and I just expelled everything from the top and bottom. I was in the shower, and it all came out, and I washed it down the sink, and I came out of the shower, and I still had this horrible itching and burning, and I'm looking around, and I said, I'm just going to try, because, you know, if you have diarrhea and you have an upset stomach, what do you take?
Right.
You take kaopectate, you know. Well, what I looked at our supplement table, and there was a bottle of CalMag liquid. So I said, okay, CalMag's like kaopectate. So I took the CalMag. I drank some of the CalMag. Instantly, the sensations began to disappear.
Huh.
Instantly. Okay, so I drank some more, and I went and lay down, and it was gone in like 10, 15 minutes. It was just gone. So then, after 3 years later, I knew that if you take CalMag, you can get rid of this.
Right.
So now we roll forward after I discovered that you can cure things, and this is 1996 now, and we were putting up our web college. And Keely had come out to the house, which was in the Aubrey Arboretum in Mount Airy, to work, and we were driving home in this convertible, this white convertible that I had, and it was 10 degrees outside, and the streets were a sheet of ice. There wasn't a car on the street, and I was taking Keely down to the Society Hill Towers, which is way far away from Mount Airy. All of a sudden, I felt this thing come on, because by that time, see, the only time I ever took CalMag was when I was having the reaction.
Right.
So I started feeling this thing come on. And I said to Keely, oh my God, I have no CalMag in the car. And I have to go back to the house, because, and it's 12 o'clock at night, right? She said, listen, she said, I'll cure this for you. And I said, no, you can't cure it. It's substance-based. It's an allergy that, you know, I need CalMag. The idea of what we're doing is if you need a substance, then you can't cure it. You have to get the substance. So what you do is you use IMMUNICS to access the substance.
Right.
So I said, no, you can't cure this. And she said, well, let me just check you. She said, listen, just keep going. You know, we can turn around if we have to, but just keep going and let me see if I can find what it is. So she started reading my gravitational and spiral body and my etheric body. And she goes, oh, she said, it's a virus. And I was saying, no, it's not a virus. I was so sure, you know. No, it's not a virus. It's an allergy. So she says, just leave it to me. And she said, I'm killing the virus. And she started killing the virus. No kidding, this disappeared.
Wow.
Like right there, wham. And I said, and I had to, grudgingly, because I did not want to be wrong. You know, it's funny because you'd think, God, I would be praying that I was wrong, you know, but I did not want to be wrong. And I was saying, no, you know, but I had to say, yeah, you know, the thing's disappearing, and it disappeared. And I had to admit, by the time we got to the Society Hill Towers, it was completely gone. I had no symptoms. Never again did I have this problem.
Wow.
Never again did I ever have to take CalMag to get rid of it. There's a little more to the story, which is I started getting leg cramps, Charlie horses. You see, I was deficient in magnesium.
Right.
And so there was a kind of a cofactor there. And later I went through hell because I just wouldn't take CalMag until much later. But anyway, the point is, your doctor doesn't know what you've got. What you know is that you managed to change how you feel by taking it out of your bodies.
I did, yeah.
Yep. So that's what you know. And so now from there, we're going to learn what we have to learn so that you cure it. Hopefully, you know. There's one other question I wanted to ask you.